It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. I want to thank everybody that tunes in, subscribe, and check me out on all platforms. Today, I have a guest that was actually introduced to me from a friend. His music is phenomenal, a little different, but if you're really into the tech, rock, or that type of aura, I believe that you should be able to get into what this guy is really trying to actually express as far as his music is concerned. And so in the House of the Legends, I give you Where is Mez? What's
Hello,
going on,
hello.
man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's talk about the beginning for you, because you're into a phase of music that's very, very different from a lot of people that actually your age, and I believe that's a step up to be actually be into that type of music and being the age that you are. I consider you young because you are, and I can see that, but your concept of music is very, very heightened. So, and how would you describe your music, Mez?
A great way to describe my music is more of like an outlet of storytelling.
Okay.
So, and like certain aspects of however I would like to experiment with certain sounds whenever I'm producing through the lyrics and the sounds. I always like to give an audience a feeling that they're also still like watching a movie but listening to a movie at the same time.
Okay. So you would like to give your what you're trying to say is that you give them imagination in a sense.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
great. And how old were you when you actually started to actually get into the concept of music? Period.
Well, it really sparked me when I was 14. I used to always go with my dad to the studio. He's an artist himself. I used to always go with him to the studio and watch them like engineer and like the whole process. And I was like definitely inspired by that. And I started off like, making like beats on my phone and stuff like that and making songs from in like 2016, like recording it off my phone and everything. So it all really was like a huge, like a very slow process of growth of understanding like mixing, mastering, producing, all of that on my own. And then once I kind of like got the gist of it, that's when I really started exploring out and, messing with different things and stuff like that.
Right. And what kind of feedback do you actually get from your production?
Usually um, my feedback then, especially because I was like really trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to do, like
Right.
what was my sound. Back then it was like, oh yeah, like, your music is hard and stuff. Like your music is hard, I was like basically starting off as a SoundCloud rapper. As of now, the kind of feedback I'm getting is more of like, wow, your music is powerful, and your music is just like, it doesn't sound underground, which
Right.
I do understand. It doesn't sound like anything like, it sounds like something that you would hear like mainstream type of
Hmm.
thing. Which I totally get the gist of it, because uh the way I am basically making these songs with these different concepts and ideas for them, and then letting the audience have their own idea of what they think the song means
Hmm.
is where they love the song, because they're not restricted where it's like, oh, this song means this, but I think it means this.
Right.
Everyone has their own idea on, their own perception and their point of view of a song, of however it touches them in their life.
Right. So give us a little example of what people have actually said in direction of what they feel from your production. I'm sure that I know it might be different other things that might have been said, but can you give the viewers at least a few ideas of what they said, plural,
Hmm.
about the production itself? Just give us a slight example.
Yeah. So, actually, I was just a couple days ago, I was booking a show for with one of my friends, and they're about to have a fashion show. I sent them a drive of unreleased song, which is gonna be on my debut album,
Right.
and they hit me back because, like, what what I'm going for right now for my new album is more of like a psychedelic era.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a psychedelic world where it's like ambient ambiance with a mix of like synths and keyboards and really really beautiful different sounds and stuff like that.
Right.
uh I sent it to him, and like 3 minutes later he hit me back up and he was like, on my mother's life, this is the greatest song I've ever heard anyone send me
And that's
in a
incredible.
very long
That's
time.
incredible.
And that really touched me. That really touched me because I definitely do put a lot of time into like every little detail of everything I create.
I listen to your music, and it reminds me of Art of Noise.
Hmm.
You ever heard of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, they mess around with different sounds, and they deliver different types of concept of music. But my question to you is, have you ever messed around with other genres of music besides your own?
Have I ever what?
Mess with different genres of music, different, like R&B, house, things like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I've I'm currently diving into house. I've definitely made like different like remixes of songs, and I've
Hmm.
definitely made I have like a few unreleased that's going to be on my album, that's house. I have like definitely majority of my album is R&B with a mix of electronic R&B with like ambiance. I have like cinematic parts of the song, like bridges and stuff like that. I'm diving in just about in a lot of places for it, for sure.
So when you do your production, how do you develop your mindset in order to actually start laying it down?
Usually for my mindset, it's always about set and setting.
Hmm.
So of course, like, um once since I have a home studio, so I have to make sure everything is clean, the vibe is good, I got the sage going, and I never plan anything out. So
Okay.
it's like I never have like a blueprint of a song that I want to record. I just go into the studio, and I start listening to certain different sounds, start playing on the keyboard. Once I hear like a tune or a melody that I've created, that's when I build upon that.
Okay.
That's my foundation. I build upon that, and whatever comes out is whatever happens. But usually, whenever it's finished, it's like I love what I created. You know?
Do you find yourself sometimes that when you do production, you have to go back to the drawing board again and start all over again to a sense where you want to
Oh
perfectionize
yeah,
it?
definitely. Especially if it's like something. Especially if it's a project I'm very dedicated to perfecting. So I actually have a song that I've been working on for 4 years,
Hmm.
and 4 to 5 years. The reason why is because it was such a great melody, and it was basically like that song where it's like you're raising a child. So over the years, as I get better mixing, mastering, and producing, I'm always going back to that last song and making it better than it was before. And I continue on doing that. And I realized, yeah, this is almost a never ending process until you reach that point where it's like, I don't have to touch this song anymore. This song is just great the way it is.
You know, out of all the production that you do you have one song that actually gives you energy, encouragement?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's actually really great that you said that, because that song is actually called Energy. I have a EP called Boundless that I released December 21st of 2020. And that song right there is definitely like a song that has me upbeat, you know, motivated. It's like a audio, what do you call it? Like an audio caffeine or something like that. Okay. Where it's like, oh yeah, I'm ready to hit the city or something like that, you know?
Right. Well, listen, you know, we're going to take a little break right now, and we're going to listen to something by you, and y'all go ahead and enjoy it, and support him on it, you know, and be open and be open-minded to it, okay? We'll be right back.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
Really down, playing the games you do. Someday, everything will be alright. Know that different people make the world go round.
And it's all because of you, my dreams are coming true. You're the sun that erases my rainy day.
Right now, I don't care who's
who's watching.
For whatever the reason there might be.
With your love by my side, the world will be mine. You're the one for me.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. And in the house, we got Demez.
All right.
Where's Demez? I call you Demez, you know why? Because I have a friend called Demez, you know, and when both of you guys got the same names, only difference is where's Demez? You know what I mean? So, but the question I want to ask you is about live performance. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your live performance. Have you done any live performance, and what's the crowd response towards your, you know, what kind of energy are they giving back to you?
Oh yeah, so like in the beginning with live performances, like I would say like my first performances was 2 years ago. Back then I used to make a lot of aggressive music, like screamo, trap, even like heavier and more aggressive rock music. So the energy was definitely a lot more wild and chaotic, but it was also a really great energy. I used to always, whenever the music would stop, I'll always have the crowd like do like a therapy session. We do like a 3, 2, 1, and then scream from the top of our lungs.
Wow.
It would be actually really, really amazing. And now, like recently, for like the change in my sound musically, I want to start dedicating more performance talent. So like one of my last shows I did at this festival. Shout out to Camp and Trip Festival. We had like all the lights set up, all the music, and some of the songs that were just played. We performed there, and usually the energy is more like, you know, lights in the air, waving back and forth, you know.
Right.
And really there to be immersed in the visuals of what the song sounds like, you know.
Okay. You know, due to the fact of what you do, I always ask my artists this: where do you see yourself at least 5 years from now? You know, doing this, and you know, where do you see yourself?
Honestly, my vision 100% has always been very well focused in the now.
Okay.
Because I'm like in this thing of autopilot where I'm basically trusting myself with
Right.
all of my decisions that I'm making, which only like automatically leads me into seeing a very bright future. I can't necessarily pinpoint exactly in detail on what I'll see myself in 5 years, but I definitely see myself very happy in 5 years.
And do you think during that time that your music would progress production wise?
100%. 100%. I feel that I'm learning every time I'm in the studio and I make a new song. I learn something new about producing. I learned something new about engineering. I learned something new all the time, whether it's like a new chord or how to play guitar just slightly better. So it's, as I'm playing around in the studio, I'm also evolving in the studio as well. So in 5 years, I definitely see myself from where I'm at now completely just like vastly much more advanced and with much more clarity of a mindset and understanding as well in the music aspect as well.
Okay. My question to you is that before you even started actually doing this, you know, did you think about what your crowd or what people will actually say about your type of music? Was it actually something that you thought about? Did you think there was going to be any negativity, or is going to be more negative than positive, or was it going to be a balance, or things like that?
Yeah, like it definitely those thoughts definitely can, especially in the beginning, when I first
Right,
started, those thoughts definitely like clouded my mind 100%.
right,
I used to always, especially it was around especially around the time where I didn't really know what I was, uh what my sound was. So like in the beginning I was definitely trying to find my sound by making music that is similar to my inspirations back then.
right,
And I had to start from somewhere. Like my inspirations back then was like FKA Twigs. I used to listen to a lot of Joey Badass, ASAP Rocky, Tyler the Creator, So now as I'm seeing like I'm building like my own kind of sound,
right,
the thoughts of whether there's people that, like my music or don't like my music, it never truly phases me, because at the end of the day it's like everyone is going to have their opinion. If like
of
there's
course,
going to be
of
a crowd
course.
over here that's going to be like, Mez makes the greatest music of all time,
Hmm.
and they're probably right. And then
Yeah,
there's also going to be a group of people that's going to be like, oh yeah, I don't like his music is trash.
right,
But like that's their world, and like where they're coming from, they're right in their road as well. And it's
right,
like it's all about like accepting all of it and just continuing on doing what you're doing. And the only thing that matters is uh attracting, you know what you are as a musician.
right,
As the music that I'm making, I'm attracting, a certain kind of people that enjoy the music that I enjoy,
right.
and the music that I enjoy making.
Let's talk about some current events. What's ahead for you right now? Anything that you want to leak
You
out
said what?
to the viewers? What's ahead for you right now? Some current events. What's going on with you, and anything that you want to let the viewers know that you're about to get into?
Oh yeah, definitely. So oh man, this year is gonna be absolutely amazing. It's like right now, like currently, I'm based in Atlanta. For anyone that's out there in Atlanta, I have I'm booking shows throughout the entire summer. Of course, my debut album is coming out called The Mystical Love Continuum,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to be released this year as well. The release date is to be, but I will announce it on all platforms as well. I'm also going to be having a short film for it, about 40 minutes long, maybe up to
Okay.
an hour, for my album as well, because I've been recently diving into to acting, directing. I want to like expand my creativity and not just have it limited to just music. I want to see how far I can go.
Okay. Any shout outs to anyone that wants to acknowledge you right now that's actually going to be watching this?
100%. I want to definitely give a shout out to my manager Tyler. Thank you for helping me out with so many things. Um, Big shout out to my brother AJ. Shout out to all my homies out in Connecticut. I'm coming back for you guys. Big shout out to my mother for being my greatest supporter, and shout out to my father for inspiring me at such a young age. And it's so many. Shout out to everybody at Reverie. That's like the headquarters out in Atlanta. Yeah.
So,
Shout out to all my friends and family. You know who you are.
you know, I would like you to say, and I would like you to talk about, to actually encourage people that's actually wants to get into production. Is there anything that you can that you can actually say that would actually encourage them?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like as far as in the world of production, uh when it comes to producing, I can definitely say this is actually a great quote from Mike Dean. He's like one of my greatest producers. He said, "Producing is more psychological than it is technical." And by that is, when it comes to like creating a song, you know, you have to definitely feel what you're making. Like, your heart has to be open to feeling what it is that you're making, so that you can grasp the understanding of what kind of roller coaster are you going to be giving, what kind of roller coaster are you going to be putting your audience on. Okay. When it comes to producing, you know, like when someone looks at a software, whether it's like FL Studio or Logic Pro, I use Logic Pro. You know, in the beginning, it can definitely look very, very technical, but keep messing around with it, explore all aspects of it, look at all the different sounds that you have available to you. And yeah, don't be afraid to try different stuff out. Like, I've made hundreds of different things that's like, you know, okay, I'm never going to use this again, but like, you know, I had to go from somewhere.
Right. Well, you know, it's been a pleasure to have you on my show, man. Very informative. I love your confidence, man. I love your music, of course, you know, and
thank you so much.
Welcome to come back again anytime, man. And this has been a T-Lo Video production, man. And you guys stay tuned for another episode. Thanks a lot, Wiz the Mez.
Thank you.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house. It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.